All right, welcome back to The Hustle with myself, your host, Ben Anderson. And I'm on with a relatively new friend of the past couple of months. I think we met back in April. His name is Bill Lindsay. Bill, say hi to the team.
Hi, team. Bill Lindsay here. Good to know you all.
Bill's a vet. We were talking a minute ago about all the trucks you got, cyber trucks and all the toys, huh?
All the toys, yeah. Oh, not to mention my 6 airplanes.
6 airplanes. Cybertruck, yeah. 6 airplanes. And how much money are you managing right now?
Oh, about 700-800 million, something like that.
Okay, so $700 million. So not a small slice of cake there. So the reason why we're here is I wanted to get you on here early. This is the 3rd episode of us bringing back a very important podcast and a very important episode. And it's really how AI is changing real estate. And because we become friends and because you've got some experience, I thought I'd bring you on to talk about that.
Yeah.
First, let's talk about your past a bit, because you're not a spring chicken. You're a seasoned veteran. You've been doing it for 40 plus years, I think, and probably a couple hundred families under management. Tell us about your past a little bit, what I don't know.
Well, I turned 77 in June. I've been doing it 43 years. I have a concierge financial advisement practice, specialized in tax strategies for high net worth individuals, 50 million to 400 million. We have a tax department. We have an audit department. We don't do attestation, but we do all the tax returns, accounting, bookkeeping. We have a big insurance department that does a lot of high-end premium finance, life insurance contracts for estate planning, buy-sells, things like that. Besides the AUM, consulting transactions through Nick that's on board with the firm. What else can I tell you? My wife told me 40 years ago I needed to write my thesis on the wagon wheel with the skill set and bring it all in house, so I did. The only thing we don't do is we do law inside to it. We only do it on estate planning transactional business. We like to stay independent on that, and then we do some valuation. So we're pretty much a one-stop shop. When a guy needs a bunch of money, a loan, we usually find people like you go get it, or we'll look and do a peer-to-peer financing type of arrangement where I'll take money from one client with a $10 million portfolio, and we'll lend out 1, 2, or 3 from his and charge them 12%, plus some extra bumps for extensions, never longer than 1 or 2 years. That's pretty much it.
You've been doing this at a high level, and for someone that's 71 years old, what I was most impressed of from you is that you and I were like exchanging emails at like 2, 3 in the morning multiple times, and I think that's a very rare ability. So before we get into all the fun stuff, where does your hustle and your grind and all of the money you're managing and all the success, but you're still going so hard, where does that come from innately for you?
What do you think, baby?
Having airplanes and me.
Yeah.
Did you hear that?
Having airplanes and having her. So basically, your wife has a high standard, and so you got to just go work and grind all the time. Is that what it is?
I mean, I don't have to work, let's put it that way, but I only work a day, maybe 2 days a week. And, I have a station. I've got 4 or 5 piston aircraft. I'm going to Oshkosh Sunday morning. I'm going to go look at an Aero Commander, the A pressurized turbo twin. So I just have so much fun flying airplanes. I have a Cardinal, I have a 206, I have a P210, I have a 421B, the Citation, and I just love them. I just love flying each one of those different airplanes, and it costs a lot of money. Probably cost me $400,000 or $500,000 a year to play with my airplanes, and then my wife lives in a 8,000 square foot mansion out in East Redlands, 8-acre avocado and orange grove, and that takes about $300,000 a year to manage it, because we have a total of 4 people managing the groves, the house. She's got a day wife. We just live we live large. what else can I say? So I got to make double seven figures in order to, live my lifestyle. And best way to do that is to do what you love. And I think I'm pretty good at it. And so I do what I love. Been doing it 43 years.
So it sounds like you're not working a whole day in your life. You're doing the things you love to do. And when you have that mindset, things come to you that yield success. Is that fair?
I would say that's exactly accurate. I would say that my daughter keeps telling me, because she's a headliner, she keeps telling me that I need to go on Facebook and do a virtual and tell everybody what I do from day to day. I close this deal, do this deal, sign this new client. But I'm not taking much in the way of new clients because I don't need more money. I need more time because I'm 77 already. And I'm in great shape. I still play pickleball, swim, do my workouts every day. I'm really going on about 40, 45, but she wants me to do this virtual thing. And I told her, no, I'm not going to get involved in that crap. I'm just going to go play with my airplanes. I have about 8 to 10 legacy clients that I work with that are very wealthy, and a couple of them. And so I love doing it. And I love my clients. I love my team. I built them. I trained them. Oh, by the way, we do tax controversy too. You know what that is?
Yeah, I mean, it sounds like you're solving some major problems. So you've got a very unique skill set to handle all types of just unique stuff with just a lot of just calmness and patience. So what's the secret to handling? Now, people here, they get stressed over a parking ticket. You're dealing with tax, IRS, complicated manners. How do you do that?
Well, I mean, first off, I'm a big time believer in God. I love Mariners Church down there at the beach. Yeah. I go down there when I come down there. But I have a place out in the desert too. I'd say number one, me and Barb have a great relationship as Christian people, and we raised our kids that way. That's probably the whole foundation for everything we do. We've been married 50 years. But I think having a passion for what you do. When I was a high school teenager, I was on the varsity wrestling squad, and some of my buddies in school get picked on by the bigger guys, tougher guys. And it seemed like after school, everybody wanted to fight them or punch them or mess with them and bully them. And I'd find out what's going on. I'd go over and I'd say, dude, back it off. Otherwise, you're not going to like what's going to happen. So I go over there and fight for them. And I think I just developed that nature of fighting for the underdog. And my underdogs are 50 to 400 million.
Yeah.
These rich guys that have more money than they know what to do. They get all bent out of shape when they get a tax bill for $8 million. And I just got a no change on one here about 2 months ago. That was really a great case. And he was just flipping out, needing counseling, the whole works. I don't know what I'm going to do. Where am I going to get $8 million to pay this bill? I said, I'm going to beat it. Don't worry about it. He said, I don't know how you're going to do it. That's going to take an act of God. I said, well, we're going to add him too. So at the end of the day, 2 months ago, I got a no change letter from the auditor. Said, okay, we looked at all your facts after you wrote us the protest letter. And it's really kind of like getting ready to try a case, because I've been in federal tax court a few times. I've done some litigation in that, support and all. So we've been around the block quite a bit. My senior tax manager in the company, he's an ex-IRS agent. And he's one of them matter-of-fact guys that knows how to just ask all the right questions and play dumb. And, he's got an old saying in working with the IRS. It's not the last buck, it's the fast buck. That's the way people in the IRS think. So we exploit that. The budget's cut to hell. Their workforce is gone. They've retired all the people that are smart. So if you know how to play the system and do it legal and be honest about it, you can really hit some home runs. And that's what high-end clients like to see. They want to live on the edge, live in the gray, and make lots of money and pay no tax. And that's what we do.
I love that. People think that, there's a certain, luck involved in getting rich, but it really is having a great team and trusting them to get you through tough stuff like what you're going through. So I wanted to ask you a couple of questions. You and I met, and you have sent and referred to our team, I don't know, $10, $15 million worth of your clients over the past month or so.
Yep.
We met because of my assistant, Cindy. Remember that?
Yep.
What did you think about Cindy?
Nice, very nice.
She was polite.
very
She answered all the questions, right?
Yeah.
She set
Yeah,
up a
very
call
nice.
with us.
Yeah, she was good. Very sweet.
Did you know? And I'm talking to a guy that's flying 65 planes and managing $700 million. This is not your average Joe here. Did you know that Cindy was AI?
No, I didn't.
Well, I've been in banking for a long time, half as long as you've been in your career, which is still saying something because you're a vet. And I've coached maybe a couple thousand loan officers and closed a couple of $1 billion in mortgage. And so 3 years ago, I started working on this project that I feel is going to change the way people buy and sell homes. And I coached up Cindy to fully be able to talk to someone as talented as you so that we can help your clients at scale, because all we have is our time. And I can't give my time to more than one person at a time.
Right.
So knowing what you know now, that you and I have a bond and a long-term relationship because of this software that we built, what do you think about Cindy or AI and how it could affect mortgage and real estate, knowing that you know now that Cindy's AI?
Well, it's interesting you should ask that because I have 4 sons and 2 daughters, and my 4 sons, one is about 44, and he's a genius, brilliant, and he's also a financial advisor, but he does it different. And all my sons are alpha males, so we can't work together in the same firm because I'm always wrong and I'm too old and I don't get it. But we love each other and show up for Christmas and Thanksgiving, which is really good. But he introduced me to Perplexity and Comet and Gemini and Claude and all these different AIs probably about, what do you think, a year ago? Yeah, probably a year ago. And then he said, Dad, you got to get with a program. I'm going to teach you how to do this. It's going to change your life. So I started using it, and now I made the whole firm start using it. And I think we've got a lot more efficient, and I'm really impressed with the way that he's got like 2 zillion of these little agents out doing homework for him. Like, for example, on Sunday morning, I'm going to head out to Oshkosh. What?
Oshkosh, but not everybody knows where Oshkosh is.
Yeah, Oshkosh, Wisconsin, which is where the big EAA air show is going to be, air show of the world in Oshkosh, Wisconsin. 750,000 people and 18,000 general aviation aircraft show up, not counting military. And it's the biggest air show in the world. It's phenomenal. So Josh sent me over this bot. He said to the bot, he told me, he said, tell that bot everything. Give him all your reservations, all your detail, and he'll build you out a plan. And what I did was I told the bot all about what Josh said. Josh had me lined up with this bot that completely created this itinerary for Oshkosh, including my flight plan, including my cheap gas stops for Jet A positive fuel, including where I'm going to stay on Saturday night, and everything I'm going to do, even to the point of renting. It was really impressive to see how comprehensive the box, and that would have cost me probably a week of time with some of my human assistants to gather all that detail and garner a nice, well thought out agenda for that trip, which is only 7 days. So and you better be on board, and it's going to blow us all away because we haven't even scratched the surface yet. That's what I think.
I think what you said is great. It's not even close to scratching the surface. We're 3 years in to building Cindy, and the same way you manage money for the clients, the biggest fault of mortgage and real estate people is that they never call you after the loan closes. They just let things go. They don't create a plan. They don't give you advice. They don't have time.
Right.
So I'm so glad that you had a great experience with Cindy and that she has led you to me, and now we have a relationship that's going to span whatever we need, and I'm helping your clients, and you'll help my clients out. That's the whole power of AI, is bringing people together. It's not going to remove relationships. It brings people together, otherwise wouldn't have had a chance to meet one another. So
I would agree.
You're the first person to hear that's sharing their experience. And I thought it would be apropos because you've got a great resume. But I think the goal for here is just to get Cindy in the minds and in the pockets to make people smarter about real estate and about homes. And so that's my passion, and I'm glad to be able to share that with you. I love hearing about you, and what stuck out most to me is that you're driven to give your family an amazing life, and that's something to be admired, and that's why you're working so hard. Not because you have to, just because you want to, and you love what you do. So
I would say to add one point, the thing that's the most rewarding for me is really developing people. The people that work for me, I don't see them as employees. I see them as team members that prop me up and make me look good. They've been there for a very long time. I pay them big. I got a CPA in the firm who's a CPA, MBA, CGMA, EA, everything. And he's going to make about $350,000 this year because of the way I do my pay structures. And I reward the hell out of my people. My senior tax guy just sits around and 3 days a week makes $180,000 a year. And I pay all their bills, buy them cars, do the whole works, and I reward them well. And I love developing those people. I've got 13 people now on staff, one of them being my grandson. I got 13 grandkids, but I really love developing people. And what's rewarding about it is when you develop people and you show them that you care, because people don't care about how much you know until they know how much you care. When they know that I love them like I do, then I'm willing to help them do anything in their life, including lend them money, give them bonuses, pay them well, give them a great lifestyle. They don't leave, and they put their all into it because people fundamentally want to be good and excel at what they do in life. And these people are all pros, and that's why I'm able to get away for 3 days out of the week and not have to work every day. I wouldn't anyway, but that's my number one thing, is I really love developing people. And it's very rewarding to look and see that, like Lily, my assistant, she's been with me 21 years. I got this nice Range Rover I bought in 23. I ordered it, but it's only got 10,000 miles because I haven't driven it. And then when I got my Cybertruck, I have no intentions of driving it. I said, "Do you like that car?" And she says, "Oh, I love it." I said, "Here, it's yours." So I gave it to her. And I mean, that. You would have thought I would have given her $1 million. I mean, she said,
well, for her, it probably was $1 million. That's amazing.
I mean, so I just like doing stuff like that, you know. One of these days, Jesus is going to pull my ticket. My kids are going to slice and dice my estate. They're all going to be a lot richer. But what did that buy me? I don't know. At the end of the day, I think it's not about that. I think it's about how you treated people, how you loved on them, how you developed them, how you know, gave them a spot in life and gave them a career.
And don't you think that if you use AI for the right things, then the things you just mentioned that you're doing so well are only human things that humans can do? But if AI brings you more clients and more employees, more clients, then you can spend time spreading the love and helping people accomplish their goals. Because, geez, I'm sure your kids, if they could all do what you did, this world's going to be a much better place.
Well, I don't disagree with that. I struggle with that point, actually, come to think about it, because I think to myself, well, I don't want to work on the Smith, Jones, or Brown case this morning, but then it sucks up three hours of my morning, and the morning's the best time to fly. So I just blew my whole morning out from flying because it's going to be 90 degrees. The density altitude's too high, and I don't like it because it makes it bumpy, and it's hard on your motor, and you have to run it at 75% power and all that. So I'm arm wrestling with, yeah, you love developing people, but at the end of the day, I also am married to this sweetheart girl here for 50 years. And I mean, she needs to get a big chunk of me too. So you've got to balance her, airplanes, and my fun time, business, and then the other family members. So how do you do that? And then do I take on new clients? Because I'm always being asked, can you take my case? And most of the time I say, no, not really. I mean, you know, and then sometimes I waffle and give in and I take the case. But it always boils back down to, if I take somebody's case, I'm the mastermind of putting it all together. I mean, do I have anybody in the office like me? Everybody would tell you no. I think they exist. I just haven't found them. And I think AI can help with that.
This has been so inspiring. I take a lot away from your expertise and your experience, especially the balance of life and stuff like that. So I am so happy. If all I ever do is meet people like you from Cindy, I could be much better off in my life. So I'm so happy that we got to meet because of that. So thanks for your time and being a friend of the team and bringing us clients who we could help, and I'll bring you clients you could help. And what's one piece of advice we can close on from you for the hustle?
Well,
Never stop learning.
what?
Never stop learning.
Yeah, that's a good one. She says never stop learning. Like, for example, I just finished my twin training. Next thing I'm doing is I'm just finishing up my IFR training, because with the citation, everything's IFR. So I have to have my IFR to fly it. Then I got to move on to single pilot, and I need 500 hours in a turbine. So, I mean, I'm just on this fast track to cramming as much of my brain as I can. So never stop learning is one. I'd say don't sweat the small.
You're 70 going on 40.
Yeah, exactly. Don't sweat the small stuff, and everything is small stuff. And when you get all stressed out, take a breath and just remember one fundamental thing. Best thing I can tell you is this: you are not your source, because nobody's that good.
Wow.
You are not your source. Who's your source? God gave you your breath. He gave you your brain. He gives you your thoughts. He gives you your customers. He gives you your meetings. He gives you all this configuration. You and I are not our source. Yeah, am I good in my industry? Yeah, probably real good. But I'm not that good. And nobody's that good. I mean, God just brings these things together for us, and we don't even know it. And I think that we are not our source. That's the best closing line that I can tell you.
Well, I mean, I've got nothing left. This has been amazing. Thanks for taking time on your way to fly. Thank your wife for giving us a few minutes of your time. And thanks, Cindy, for bringing us together. So, Bill, my friend, you have the hustle. This is your host, myself, and Anderson. And let's continue to crush it.